I request Dr. Lalit Sharma, sir, to take his time.
Okay.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Thank you.
Yeah, he
Thank.
will
Thank.
share his screen.
I'm
Yes.
audible, isn't it?
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
It is
Okay.
audible.
I'll just have a small interaction with every one of you, and then maybe I can make a small presentation on different aspects of evaluation parameters, so that everyone is aware of it. So, first of all, let me say sincere thanks to Stam, and also to all my friends whom I know by face. I may not recollect your name, but
Yeah.
definitely we know each other by face, and we have been meeting year after year. So you have been a very good source of inspiration for the mainland children. Basically, I would congratulate the children coming from Mizoram, because for a simple reason that over a period of decades that I have been associated, my observation has been that children from Mizoram are sincere, are dedicated, are committed, and true to what they do. They are, though they must be having all access to Google or internet and other facilities. However, the sincerity and the commitment that we can see through their projects is really commendable, and they really excel at the national level. This has been my personal observation, and my friend from the national pool, Dr. Krista, would also endorse this, that the children from Mizoram are straightforward. They understand what problem they have picked up, they know what they have done, and their expression, their presentation is really commendable. And I must appreciate the entire STAM team, that the way you have groomed your children and the way you have brought your children over a period of decades is really worth praising. So first of all, this is my hearty congratulations to the STAM and the entire your members. Now,
Thank you.
coming to the evaluators, maybe few of you must be new and others must be the ones who have been coming regularly. I'll just give a brief idea about this program. You all know this is the almost like 3 decades we have completed, and now we are entering the fourth decade. And during this period of time, we have observed that the children coming from not only the city areas or the urban area, but also the rural and also the tribal area have increased over the period of years. Now, this is a program of NCSTC division of Department of Science and Technology, Government of India, you are aware of, wherein a team of two children from 10 to 17 years of age form a team, and then they work on a project which is within the realms of or premise of the focal theme and the sub themes. And then they identify a local issue or a problem, and then they work out through a mini research project, and they make their presentations at the district level, then the state level, and finally at the national level. Now, you all being evaluators, I'll just make a small presentation which gives the different parameters that what as an evaluator at different levels we should look out for. Although this is not in sync with whatever evaluation sheet is there, but more or less it conveys the heart and soul of what we are looking out for. And also what hints are there for the evaluators, what do's and don'ts for the evaluators will also be discussed in this a small presentation. So I'll just make a presentation, share it with you. I hope it is visible.
Yes.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Okay, so it was just a brief about the Children Science Congress. You know, it is made up of three words: children, science, and congress. This program, children, because we do not say that it is students. They may or may not be from the school or the formal education, and whatever children do, has science in it, because whatever they do is logical, and logic is nothing but science. And so Congress, basically, it is not a competition, you understand that, because there is no first, second, third, fourth. Whosoever reaches to the national level gets the gold medal. Everyone has the same gold medal, except for that we try to shortlist 20 to 25 promising projects out of those, and which is a very difficult task. That challenge is given to children, particularly from the Mizoram and other northeast states. Now, I'll just touch upon the parameters that we look out for during the evaluation. The first and foremost is the originality of idea and concept. We have been giving activity guidebook circulating among the teacher guides, among the coordinators, among the children also. They have the access to activity guidebook, where the number of ideas and model projects are elucidated over there, described over there, based on the focal theme and the sub themes. However, the idea of the presentation of a child should not be exactly the replication of the model project which is mentioned in the activity guidebook. On the contrary, they should have something unique or novel project idea that tries to attempt the answer any specific question. And a proper explanation of origin of idea is also inquired by the evaluators. Like, how did you get this idea, or what prompted you to take up this project, or did anyone suggested this idea or a project to you, or it came out of your own curiosity, or something that you have heard, or something you have read, or something you have witnessed. So these kind of things can reveal the originality of idea and concept. Then, of course, the most important part is the relevance of the project to the theme, focal theme, or the sub themes. We mainly concentrate on the focal theme, and the focal theme is normally given in such a way, or the premise of that focal theme is so wide. It's such a wide umbrella that anything and everything under the sun can be combined under that. However, whatever child is doing or whatever project is being presented, we have to see whether it is relevant to the thematic areas or not. Like understanding ecosystem for health and well-being. A child can do on health, can do on well-being in relation to the ecosystem. So whether they are understanding the ecosystem in terms of its impact on the health or well-being, or vice versa, the impact of health and well-being on the ecosystem, how they have understood the project. This is what we call as relevance of the project to the theme or the thematic area. Then whatever they have picked up as a project, as a problem, as an issue, do they really have the scientific understanding of it? If they have found out that due to certain climatic changes or weather conditions, there has been a spate of different diseases or health issues, they really have understood the scientific background of it, or it is just because they have per se they have heard from somewhere, or someone has communicated, they are just picked up as an issue. So it refers to what extent of knowledge they have in relation to their project idea. Basically whatever the scientific area, it is a health related or well-being related, mental health related, physical health related, nutrition related, or it is ecosystem related, any aspect of it. So whether they know the basic principles, if suppose they have done with the nutritional related project, do they know what is a balanced diet? If they have done with the health, do they know what is the factors that can impact physical health or a mental health? Something like that can come out during the investigation or the questioning with the children, whether they really have the scientific understanding of the project they have picked up. Then most important another thing is the data collection. The data collection that children have done must be a systematic collection of the information, irrespective of whether it is a qualitative or quantitative. However, in case it is the qualitative data that they have collected, they have to convert it into the quantitative using the relevant tools. Experiment they have to conduct, so experimental data is also required. and the supporting data that comes from the interviews or surveys or case studies that can also be a part of the data collection. When they are doing surveys or the experiments, the sample size that they have taken should be statistically relevant and sufficient to support the issues that are under their study. Now, whatever data they have collected needs to be tabulated or categorized or classified. And these all require simple statistics as applicable to their study. So this is also a important part that we normally have to see along with the data collection, how they have done the analysis. Now, as I said, experimentation is an important element of this entire Children's Science Congress. So in experimentation, it needs to be validated as well. So conducting of experiments or the field studies needs validation applying simple methods of science. Now, experiments should not be very complex, because in case they come out with a complicated experimentation, then the questions may be asked at that level and they may get baffled. So it's always ideal that they come out with a simple experiments. However, in case children come with some complex issues as well, we as an evaluator should try to make it as simple as possible for a child to understand, and our questions or our queries should be posed in such a way that it is easily understandable by a child from 10 to 17 years of age. Now, these experiments preferably should be self developed and inexpensive as well. Now, adequate importance it needs to be given to the rigor of the process. See, experiment may or may not be to our standard, to our understanding, to our level of knowledge, but how much they have got involved in it, what has been the rigors that they have gone through, should also be appreciated, and importance should be given to that. Once they have done the experimentation and validation, we normally evaluate for the interpretation and problem solving attempt. The problem that they want to address, whether it has come out with some solution or not, whether the group has addressed the proposed hypothesis and objectives through the project or not, what has been the final interpretation based on their data analysis, results, conclusion, what they have interpreted needs to be seen, and it is one of the parameters that normally is evaluated. Then comes the teamwork. There is a marking for the teamwork as well. Now, it refers to the work division, cooperation, sharing between, that is within the group of the two, but it is also beyond the group. And that appears from their acknowledgement. If they are acknowledging the direct or indirect help that they have received from anyone and everyone, maybe it is the librarian, it is the farmer, it is you know, anyone from the field, any relative, anyone who has done indirectly also help them in conducting the experiment, or helping in taking the surveys or interviews, all should reflect this under the acknowledgement. And if it is appearing in the acknowledgement, that shows that there has been a teamwork beyond the group as well. Now, at district level, we have a component of background correction. Now, what is this background correction? Background correction is to provide extra weightage to the children who are coming from the geographical area where their school is located, is from village or town, in relation to whether they have that kind of infrastructure and information and other facilities available to them, which is in comparison to the urban children or the city schools or children. So they are given, if they are coming from typically off the track schools or totally remote areas or remote villages, then they are given additional weightage at this stage of the district level, so that they come at par with the other children in case of next round or the next stage or level. Now, at district level as well, now there is a possibility that in a city as well, there are certain areas where you don't have the facilities at all. They are on the outskirts of the cities or the town associated with the cities, but coming under the urban area. They are giving partial background correction marks, And those children which are coming from rural background or from small towns but have the facilities like international schools and which are at par with the urban, then they are also given only the partial background correction marks. So we need to take care of this factor. Now they have to present orally as well as in a written form. The written report is also presented to us for its evaluation, and reports are evaluated for the clarity of whether their objectives are clear or not, which should be not more than 4 to 5, because too many objectives or aims will lead to a confused conclusion. Then whether there has been a proper design of methodology mentioned in the report or not, experimental or survey design has been properly done or not, the systematic presentation of data, its tabulation, and the graphical representation has been presented in the written report in a proper method or not. Along with, we also go through the logbook, which is authenticated by the guide on a regular basis, and it is mandatory. Now, oral presentation is also evaluated on the basis of the interaction with the evaluators and the parameters that we have discussed right now. During the presentation, they have to make oral presentation with the help of the charts or posters, which are four given as a number, along with the logbook and other supporting material. Now, in case children want to make a presentation using the PowerPoint, absolutely no problems. But the time limit that has been given to them is typically 6 to 8 minutes, and during that period only they have to complete or finish, whether it is using the charts or whether using the PPT. Normally we recommend that charts are mandatory for a simple reason, that in case they are prepared with the PowerPoint presentation and there is a outrage of electricity, there is a power loss or something untoward happens, or their PPT or the it's not compatible with the system of the computer, then in that case the charts are the only help or the aid that they can utilize for making their presentation. So it is mandatory, and we should take care of this, that there should be chart or posters, no matter they are supporting with their PowerPoint presentation as well. At the state level, we also have an evaluation parameter for the follow-up action, for a simple reason that science projects or science research is an ongoing, it's not it doesn't have a dead end. It is not that whatever project they have taken up this year will end on 31st December 2023, but it should be ongoing project, and hence there should be a follow-up action. Whatever problem they have identified in their local area, school, or nearby their residences, those need to be addressed, and those needs to be communicated to the society. This is what we are aiming at. So have the group conveyed the message to the community, how it was communicated, will the effort continue to involve more people till the problem is actually solved, and was any action plan suggested? All these type of questions are normally asked during the evaluation in assessing the follow-up action plan of the children, and this is normally done at the state level. Now, here are a few hints for the evaluators, and these are very, very critical and important, because children are very smart. They do take care of what is going on, how the interaction is being done by the evaluators, whether it was really fair or not. Everything is analyzed and logically judged, even by the children of that 10 to 17 years of age. Hence, we have, as a adult or as a senior or as an experienced people, we should be very, very careful, and we should be empathetic to the children. Now, as I have mentioned, of 10 years, they need our encouragement. As an evaluator, irrespective of how and what the project has been, we must understand their capabilities and capacities being in that bracket of age of 10 to 17 years. And in return, we must provide the constructive inputs and positive feedback only. We should never criticize, we should not put them down, we should not underestimate their capability and capacity. However, in case we find there is some lacuna, there is some things lacking in it, we must give the constructive inputs and positive feedback. We must appreciate and value the efforts and innovativeness and the importantly confidence with which these children come up and face the evaluators coming from the blue, and with the same level of confidence and commitment they reply or give answers to our queries. Another thing, as an evaluator, we must ensure that they return motivated and intellectually rich. As an evaluator, we should evaluate the subject matter, the scientific content of the project that has been presented, and not the gadgets which they have brought, not the models or the oratory skills of the presenter. We must take care of only the subject matter and the scientific content. At any cost, we should avoid unwarranted comments, comparison with their seniors, and most importantly, the distraction during presentation. Now, how this distraction comes in picture? Often it happens that we are always on a emergency mode. We are expecting some phone calls. We would like to interact with our colleagues who are sitting for the evaluation. These create distraction. Suppose in a room where the presentation is going on, there are three evaluators, and suddenly one of the evaluators gets a phone call and he walks out during the presentation, and there are the remaining two. In case that presentation doesn't get selected, there is always a chance of filing an RTI by that child that my presentation was evaluated by only two, not by three evaluators. And why I'm quoting this example is because we have experienced this kind of RTI in past. Hence, in case you are getting an emergency phone call or you have to go out for some work, then please wait till the ongoing presentation gets over. Wait for a few minutes, ask the next presenter to start only when all the three evaluators are in place. So this kind of distraction should be avoided at any cost. Now, when we are evaluating, let's not be a quiz master, or let's not be a viva teacher or something like that. Please, we should behave like an evaluator where we are just interacting with them, trying to find out what they know, how much they know. But we should not test what they do not know. Rather, we should help them while interacting with them to bring out what they know. And that is most important, and that can only make them intellectually rich. These can only be the positive feedback and the constructive inputs from the evaluator side. Sometimes we have children with disability also. Now, here is the evaluation criteria for the projects under this category. Sometimes it changes also. Now, there are three kinds of projects that can come under this category. One, where the normal children are doing projects for the persons with disability. When one of the children is CWD, or both are having disabilities. Now, so these are three categories: A, B, and C. A, where the normal children doing project for people with disability, then at district and state level we give 5 marks. If one of the child is with disability, then that is given 10. At the national level it is given 5. This is additional weightage which is given in the evaluation sheet. And category C is where both the children are with disability and they are working on some project. In that case, at district and state level, the 20 marks is allotted, and at national level, 10 marks are additionally allotted. So here is just a brief about the evaluation uh, program or evaluation system that we follow at the district, state, and the national level. There could be a possibility of some changes or minor, shuffles from here and there in the weightage or the parameters or the naming of the parameters, but more or less it is going to take care of the same thing that we have. So if you have any questions related to this, I'm available, or you have Krista. So if you can, if you want to ask in Mizo, then you can ask him also. Absolutely no problem.